When I made my video criticism of feminist frequency, I was careful to be very respectful. After all, feminist frequency was what inspired me to make Going Rampant videos. It's an intelligent video series, and I like having a geeky feminist presence on YouTube. Its video on homophobia and Caprica actually inspired me to create this YouTube channel, through showing me that that kind of video could work. This, however, utterly escaped the attention of some users who read the title Criticism of Feminist Frequency and determined that I was like-minded and sent me their videos utterly trashing feminist frequency and the woman behind it. Let me now make it abundantly clear that I think that feminist frequency should make 1 million more videos to counteract the saturation of misogyny in the media. Feminist frequency is like that special TV show that I'm constantly looking for new episodes of. It is awesome. It deserves to be recognized as an awesome show. I'll now address a few of the auntie's issues with feminist frequency, including her unworn game controller, her gathering funding through Kickstarter, the idea that the raging torrent of misogyny against her was deserved, and that she knowingly invoked it as a fundraising technique. Claim 1. She can't be a real gamer. She is a phony trying to control us. Why, just look at her freshly unboxed controller. This actually shows the gaming ignorance of the aunties. A controller is a very strong piece of equipment that doesn't give in to wear and tear easily. I've had this controller since I first got the Xbox 360 for Halo 3 in 2007, I think. Look at it. There's no scars, not much of grime or anything. It's fine. This is how controllers look when you treat them well. But of course I could have just unboxed this controller. You don't know that I'm a real gamer, except that I'm now going to tell you that I am Dragonclaws on Halopedia, and I have been an admin of Halopedia since 2005. Halopedia is a Halo encyclopedia. Just having a controller in your house for normal gaming usage results in a fine-looking controller. This is a controller that the Yeerk invasion force would be happy to have. In other words, noobs. Claim 2. She is an e-beggar who tricked people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is astoundingly stupid. It reflects ignorance on basic economics. It effectively criticizes capitalism, without which there would be no video games more advanced than Pong, at a high level for ignoring the wisdom of supply and demand. Anita isn't doing anything different than the millions of Americans who go into business for themselves. She's offering a desired product, the videos, in exchange for cash. That's not cheating people out of their money. That's the same thing you do when you buy your morning coffee. Is the cashier cheating you out of your dollars? Come on. I guess it could look different because they don't agree with her feminist ideology, but that's like me as an atheist saying that a Bible salesperson is cheating Christians by selling Bibles to them, because that's false. So it's cheating! It's cheating! It's not like The Music Man, where the con artist Harold Hill creates a controversy about pool and then sells this banned stuff to people without actually having a product. That is cheating. This is, she's seeing controversy, she's talking about it, and that is the product, and she's got the product out there. It's clear she has something to sell, and she's accepting commissions for it. Even if there were a Bible salesperson who was an atheist and just in it for the money, it's just someone making a living out of someone's desires that already exist. The Bible salesperson is performing a valued service. The ideology does not start at one transaction. Maybe the point is that people gave her money far exceeding the original goal? If it were charity, that's no different from giving the barista a hefty tip when you buy your morning coffee. You choose to spend your money how you like. And anyway, it's not charity, it's just different versions of the original transaction. When the original goal was speedily met, she added increasingly higher goals for other videos. Videos that she originally wasn't going to make, but Then that she had the available funds, she was able to ask for more to make them. People paying for these videos is no different than placing an order for Halo 4 months in advance. It's simple capitalistic practice. And if you want to criticize capitalism, there are better places to do it than Feminist Frequency, as if it's the first example of it anyone's ever seen. Claim 3. No, it must be a scam because the videos are so cheap and easy to produce. How do you know how cheap or easy it is to produce these videos? I mean, how do you know that she's not terribly busy with tons of other stuff? I only managed to put out about 3 videos per month while managing college because I'm very smart, and my videos are of considerably lesser quality. I see proper lighting, a great camera, applied makeup, better audio, a background that probably has to be set up. She certainly sometimes at least has one other person working with her, someone with their own scheduling conflicts that has to work out with her. You know, it's difficult. Just think about what must go into creating such a high-quality film setup. This is not good lighting here, and I'm using a Photoshop kind of effect here. By now, a certain formula would have been worked out, but there would still be some adjustment to get the lighting right. And lighting is very complicated. When done right, on normal human skin, it'll cause this glare to shoot off her face. And the fact that it doesn't do that tells me that she's wearing a lot of makeup, probably applied on set by the same person who's doing the lighting. If Anita has to pay them, then that's one more expense for her, you know? That's just filming the videos. She has to edit them too. She uses the extremely pricey Final Cut, which also means time-consuming video rendering for each individual edit. How does she get the footage from the stuff she examines? The stuff looks too high quality for her to have simply downloaded it off of YouTube. It's likely that she tracks down high quality files on the internet, taking extensive web research. Or she contacts geeks who collect this kind of stuff, which is in itself a lengthy process. Some of the stuff she plays looks like it may have been ripped from DVDs, which requires a lot of DVD ripping software and various programs for the issues that come up when you try to rip DVDs. Suppose the hardware she gets initially can't hold up. She'd have to go back and get new hardware. You know, these problems come up. All of this is expensive and time-consuming, and it's just the video part. What about the research part? She needs to watch the movies or TV, read the books, or play the video games as a consumer to get the full impact. After consuming the games, she has to reflect on it and draw diagrams. And sometimes I imagine after putting together a whole video, she'd look at it and realize that she got something wrong, something that invalidates her whole argument. She'd essentially need to go back to the drawing board and start all over again. Claim 4. She deserves the slew of misogyny leveled against her in response to her announcement of the video game series because X. The stupidity of this argument is horrendous. First of all, no one deserves that kind of level of hatred, especially not someone just trying to help. Take an example from the fabulous Mr. George Takei, who, in response to a homophobic school board member who made comments about liking when gay kids kill themselves, said thusly,
"You are a douchebag. That's right, a douchebag. No person, let alone an elected school official, whatever their personal or religious beliefs, should ever wish death upon another human being. You apologize for your poor choice in words, but you are always going to be a total douchebag."
George Takei then states that if the homophobic school board member were to later be outed, he would still be undeserving of that level of hatred, because that's just not what is done in decent human society. Compare this to the Anita abuse incident. In one case, it's a person in a position of power who makes comments about the people under his power being worthless and how they should be bullied to suicide, that this would be a worthy end goal. In the other case, it's a woman who announces plans to talk about what she considers sexist tropes in video games in an attempt to make the world safer and more respectful of women. She does not use personal attacks or demeaning language. She does not, for instance, describe how other people's deaths would be good in her eyes. she is respectful. In the first case, the respectable George Takei calls him a douchebag for his comments about,
I enjoy the fact that they often give each other AIDS and die.
And then he offers him the same kindness that everyone should show to make a point about how hating the other side is never the answer, that hatred itself is never the answer.
I sincerely hope you do not kill yourself, Mr. McCanns, because no one should ever wish that upon someone else.
In the second case, the male gamers call her misogynistic slurs, threaten rape, death, and other horrible things. They vandalize her Wikipedia page to make it look like she's giving someone oral sex in a statement about how women are lesser than men for performing this act, and call her the C word in such a way that it affects her results when you Google her, and just a ton of nasty things. They put up a game that is like Beat Up Anita Sarkeesian, where they took a picture of her face, and if you click a certain area, it would add a bruise effect. That is horrible. These people make men look evil to get the stupid feminists to realize men aren't evil. Really, it's clear who is more honorable in each conflict. If you use this claim seriously, you are a douchebag. That's right, a douchebag.
A total douchebag.
Claim 5. No, but she knew it would happen and used it as a fundraising technique. I see this as like letting hatred for officials override reason and claim that military officials, government officials, are responsible for attacks committed against America, whether we're talking about Pearl Harbor or 9/11. Same sort of hatred of the authority overriding simple reason. Like, why would they hurt themselves? Think about this. They're essentially characterizing Anita as the person who has the chutzpah to kill their parents and then ask for sympathy for being an orphan. They need to dunk their heads in water for a few seconds and realize that this is totally ridiculous. They just don't want to view her as a legitimate person who just has some conflicting viewpoints. They dehumanize her like the World War II American soldier who talks about the Jerrys and the Japs, not real people, just dehumanized versions of the enemy, because it's easier to attack that than another person like yourself. They don't want to think about her as a real woman like their sisters or their mothers, someone who thought she'd make some videos to try to make the world better for people, and then suffered this horrible abuse and wanted to make that abuse better known so that other people would see the urgency to make these videos talking about how the world needs to be more respectful of women. And instead, they attacked her with even more abuse for daring to portray that abuse as not deserved.
That's insane troll logic.
In their eyes, she can't be a human. She must be dehumanized into the feminazi. The feminazi must be attacked, for she is the manipulator, and the manipulator cannot be allowed to take control. So the manipulator must be attacked. Attack the manipulator, attack the manipulator.
We're rebels without a clue.
I want to believe that these people are just psychopaths, but I doubt it. I think it arises from hateful culture, misogynistic culture that pervades society. If we took an honest look at the 1950s, we'd find behavior that would come across as shocking for its hateful perspective of people we consider reasonable and deserving of basic human decency, the same decency we would expect for ourselves. It is average human stupidity and hate, the same parts that make this species sometimes loathsome. It makes it abundantly clear to me that feminism is not only still needed, it must pick up its pace in a Red Queen's race, where misogynists are becoming more and more powerful due to technological advancement. There's a war fought with violence and the threat of such to bully women into submission, not daring to anger the male mafia. This is where feminists must rise up and overcome to Ensure everyone's liberty.
We need equality. Kind of now.